Hey, good morning. So we're back here at the river. We're here quite a bit, and I wasn't really going to film, but I figured, what the heck, I'm here. I got the camera. We'll go ahead and film. You never know, this might be the one day where we catch that huge fish, and I would love to document it. If you're watching, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to hit you early on that, and let's do some fishing. So as we're walking to our spot, I figure I'd have a little conversation with you to let you know what's going on. We're back here at the river. We've been doing really well on the wacky rigs, and I did bring one, but it's cooling down here, and as the temperature cools down, the fishing heats up. I just put that in there. So as it heats up, they start to go after those reaction baits. So we're going to give a chatterbait here on the river a shot, and we're also going to try a topwater and see if we can get them to react. They've always been really good on the wacky rig, so we're going to throw some wacky worms out there too and see if we can catch a fish or two. This is very steep and slippery, and I have fallen down here and just about busted my ass a few times. It seems like the more I do it, the more it gets opened up here. But here's the river. Always beautiful, inviting. Okay, so this is a walking bait that we have. This is a Yorzuri 308, and we got this in a monster bass box. I think I've mentioned before, we haven't done too well with monster bass equipment so far. You know, we're gonna give it a shot. So we're just gonna take him across the other side, and we're gonna kind of work him across and see if he gets something. The river is a bit higher than it's been. I just thought it would be a good idea to give him a shot. I'm kind of finally getting the cadence of the walking bait. I've been watching a couple people on YouTube run these, and there's a cadence to them to get them to really zigzag, and it takes a little bit of patience. It's not the big pulls that you think they're going to be. So we'll try to pull him downstream here and see if that makes a bit of a difference. We got the current working with us. I haven't seen really any breaks in the water to presume that I'm gonna catch anything top water. It'd be kind of cool to get something here top water. I have gotten fish here with my whopper plopper, so I do know that it's doable. Well, the carp are certainly excited. I've seen a couple carp jump up, pretty big fish. Their full body is out of the water. They're launching. Boy, do they make a ruckus when they land. Very big fish. I've caught one before out of here, 12-pounder. So they are in here. I don't think they're gonna come over top water, but anything. We're just not feeling it with this guy. We haven't gotten any strikes. We're not really seeing any reaction to it at this point, so we're gonna work with the Cinco baits and see if we can catch anything on those. Oddly enough, I think the last time I filmed here, this was actually the same exact style rig that I was running the last time. My last orange catch was a 3-1 largemouth over in Lake Apacon, so you know, this orange color is building some confidence. Well, I had a fish on, and I couldn't get your attention. I pushed the button. I lost him though. You didn't miss anything. It was nice to get a bite here, so it was on the orange, and we'll stay on the orange and see if there's anybody else who wants to come out and play with us. I actually was getting ready to set up a chatterbait, realized that my line was getting taut quickly, so I wasn't really reacting the way I should have, to be quite honest with you. What I'm gonna say is dance with your date. And what I mean by that is, if you have a line out, work that line, work with it. You know, here I kind of let that sit out there, and I was going to change over my other rod where I had a rod in, and I didn't have the confidence in the Senko at the time, and I kind of wasn't paying attention, and I lost that fish because I wasn't paying attention. My date being my rod and reel and the lure that I have out. Be attentive to what you're doing, and you'll catch more fish, because that was a fish I should have caught, and I just wasn't on it. Just wasn't on it. And this is what I mean by dance with your date. Oh, very large fish, and he was able to spit me out. That was a big 'um. That was a big 'um. All right, well, we know what we're gonna stay with here. Let's get that orange back on and get him back out there. He was able to spit that, man. I set the hook pretty well too on that. I'm kind of surprised he got off. All right, let's get him back out there. Man, big fish. He was an easy 3-4 pounder. Let's see if we can get him back. I don't know if we're gonna get that opportunity back or not. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That stings a bit, but just knowing that they're attentive to what I'm throwing in is really awesome. And yeah, so we're gonna stay after this. Very exciting, very exciting. Big fish. Unfortunately, we didn't bring him in, but we're gonna stay after it for a little while here anyway. Like I said, I brought this camera down because you never know, I might catch my PB. So I want to be kind of ready, and I want to be able to document it. So I thought I'd bring you along to check it out. Haven't brought any in. That's 2 hits, 1 real big one, and they are able to spit the baits easily. He just got out in the air, and man, he just spit it right out. Kind of a shame. And I tried to set the hook, but it's tough because as you're leaving line out to go with the drift, your line isn't super taut. So you have a lot of reeling to do before you can get to where the hook is. You know, you got a lot of loose line there. So it's I gotta try to keep my lines a little tighter, I suppose. Well, I'll say it's been a couple hours since I last checked in. Haven't gotten any hits since that large fish that we brought out of the water. That was pretty much the end of it. I ran a chatterbait with no success. Actually lost that one. Threw a spin bait out there, figured out what the heck, I had one here, and then I took an attempt at a shaky head, and I put one of the new Gary Yamamoto swim baits on there, which I didn't have any success with, to be honest with you. I'm not really a big fan of them so far. I don't know if any of you have tried the Gary Yamamoto swim baits. I'll actually show it to you. It's a Gary Yamamoto. It's called a Swim Senko. And this one is a green pumpkin. I actually, when I picked it up, I was like, $9.99. Could they really be raising the prices on the Senkos that much? But this is what we're looking at here. A little bit different design. It's got a little swim tail on it. It does swim fairly well. I'm not real sure if it's going to be what's going to attract the fish. I've not caught anything on it yet. The only thing I like about it is the color so far. I tried sticking this guy on a shaky head. It's not a floater, it sinks right down, so it basically is just dragging. Probably Texas rig through the nose is probably the best way to fish it. I have fished it that way with no success yet. I'll keep giving it opportunities. Who knows, maybe this is the new best bait. But as of right now, so far swim baits for me have been Kitex. I've been most successful with them. We'll continue to try to use it, but no success today with it. I'm on a green pumpkin now, Senko, and I really love the Gary Yamamotos. Don't get me wrong, I think the Gary Yamamotos is where it's at when it comes to Senkos. I've had the best success with them. The orange worm was actually a Senko made by Gary Yamamoto, and I had 2 fish on. I didn't bring them in, but 2 fish on. They just weren't committing. I couldn't get a hook set on either of them. They're elusive. Today's gonna be a bust, I believe. 2 big hits. I think that one was an easy 3 to 4 pounder, which is great. I love that kind of stuff. Would have loved to bring him in and show you that guy, but wasn't wasn't meant to be today. So we're gonna wrap things up. Really appreciate you guys watching. I know this wasn't a very long video, but I was hoping that the cooler weather would activate him, and it did early, but now we're closer to almost 10:30 now, and we haven't gotten any hits for, I would say, the last hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. So we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I know, again, I didn't catch the fish. I'm hoping that that one was recorded, but if not, well, this was a total waste of time and effort. Sorry.